What's going on, fam? I'm Josh. You can call me Anoriand, and this is Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins DX. Now, Nintendo recently dropped Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on the Nintendo Switch via Switch Online, and one of the games they included for Game Boy/Game Boy Color is Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins, which was an excellent game. However, one modder made a DX version of the game. For those who don't know, back when the Game Boy Color came out, one thing Nintendo did was they released a few DX versions of Game Boy games. Link's Awakening DX, for instance, is actually on the Switch Online, where they added color to the game after the fact, even though it was originally just a regular old Game Boy game, often added some extra features. We're gonna hop right in. So, as you can see, they added a bunch of color to the game, as if it was a Game Boy Color game. This game looks great no matter what, but adding color does a lot. But they also added whatever this is over here. What's going on? Oh shoot, they added Luigi, and I ain't no scrub. I'm playing Luigi. This is Super Luigi Land 2, everybody. Boom! But I just wanted to play this for two reasons. Reason number one is that I wanted to show off the updates that were added to this game. I think they are absolutely superb. I think this is the definitive way to play this game now. Bam. I also wanted to show off Luigi and such, but then frankly, don't judge me. But then frankly, I also thought, like, you know what? With the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance and everything dropping on Switch, let's show people this game. Like, this is a game you should play no matter what. Even if you can, I say that this is the definitive way to play, but if you don't want to go through the trouble of, preparing the game as I have, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, playing it the Switch version is still great. Basically, the difference is Luigi, as per usual, definitely jumps higher than Mario, but he has worse traction. Which does, listen, I love people who are like, no, Luigi is absolutely, like, better than Mario in every way mechanically, because traction doesn't matter. And it's like, listen, Luigi's better than Mario. That we agree on. Yeah! Snuck in some extra lives. Now I'll run back for what I need. Luigi's better than Mario. That much we agree on. But traction matters in a platformer. Like, it absolutely will change the nature of how you handle levels and stuff. So this is gonna be a fun little playthrough. 6 Golden Coins is not an especially long game. If I remember correctly, you can play every level and get through the whole thing. Are you kidding? I pushed the wrong button. Oh, what is these? What is these? What is these? Well, they lead here. Just like in the first Mario Land game on Game Boy, you have the goal, but there's also a bell up high, and if you ring it, you get to go to a bonus game after the level and either get 3 lives or a power-up. 3 lives, I'll take it. Anyways, it's a fun little playthrough. Takes should be 2 hours, maybe less than 2 hours. I don't have enough coins for any of these, so we're gonna keep it. Well, I have enough for the 30, the 50. We'll save up, see if maybe I can get the 9991. Anyways, what's cool about this game is it is open-ended. There's 6 worlds, you can go to any of them. You can go to the turtle, you can go to the Mario statue, you can go to any of the given worlds in any order in order to beat the game. So, but we'll start with Turtles McGee over here. I think that's a good starting place. I will just run through. I figure, it's a simple enough playthrough. It shouldn't take too many episodes and, be fun. Listen, this is, like I said, one of the best. This is without question one of the best Game Boy games. It might be the best platformer on the Game Boy. I'd have to, really sit and think about that. But in any format, it is generally speaking one of the best Game Boy games. I wouldn't necessarily call it the best Game Boy game. I know there are people who will, and you know, they're entitled to that opinion. Boxing glove sharks are thoroughly scary. Because I thought I could try and thread the needle. It's fine, I got the checkpoint. There are people out there who will call it the best Game Boy game, and I don't quite agree with that. But it is a great game. It's phenomenal. It was on the short list if you owned a Game Boy of games you probably should own. It was like if we're talking original Game Boy, it was like this, Link's Awakening, Pokemon. Honestly, I'm trying to think of what comes before anything else on that. Like, from there, you start getting into, you know, games that aren't necessarily better or worse, just No. It's a bag of money. Gimme. Yeah, you get into a lot of games where it's like, it's not necessarily bad or worse, but it's different. And you have to decide whether you want different or not, kind of thing. Nope, not falling for that. Like, I will always be a fan of... No! Fine, I'm gonna aim for a better power-up over here. Beat that, then. You know, games like Dragon Warrior Monsters. I would say Dragon Warrior 3, the Game Boy Color version, is in contention. Dang it. I wanted to get a power-up, not lives. You know, there's a lot of good games. But, like, best game? Also, one thing I do note is, compared to... There was a lot of... You can clearly tell between the movement on the overworld to travel anywhere and the open-ended map, the several enemies and things like that. Mario World had a lot of influence on this game. You gotta remember, when the first Mario Land game came out on Game Boy, the only existent Mario games were, I believe, Mario 1 and then Mario 2 / Doki Doki Panic. I don't believe that Mario 3 was even out yet, although I could be wrong. I'd have to double check on that. I know without question, though, that this came out after Mario World. And you can see a lot of Mario World's influence here, which is a good thing. Mario World's a great game. It's one of the single greatest games ever made. Like, it is worthy of its acclaim. Would I rather have fireballs or flight? See, here's the thing. Flight is absolutely kind of like... It is, in ways, just as busted as Flight in other games, in ways more busted, in ways less busted. You definitely need to... No! You definitely need to better be able to abuse it, but you can see, while you're pushing A, you really do lose almost no height. You can get a lot of flight mileage tapping A over and over again. So it's... You know, to Buzz Lightyear, it's not flying, it's falling with style, but there's a lot of style involved in the way in which you fall with these damn bunny ears. Bam, bam, bam. No! Well, I guess the decision of Fire Flower or bunny ears is a lot easier when I take the decision out of my own hands. And something tells me it's gonna get taken out of my hands again. I don't know, I'm just getting a feeling. I'm hooked on a feeling. Oh, I just had to bunny hop it. Ironic, since I lost the bunny ears. That the answer was to bunny hop. Fire! I can't hurt you. Of course I can't hurt a cannon. Why would I be able to hurt a cannon? But it's okay. So, fun fact. In the first Mario, I know I bring up the first Mario Land game a lot, as you can tell. Because I owned that one as well, and I put a ton of amount of time into that. But in the first Mario Land game, when you got a superstar, it played the French Can song. I forget the actual name of the song. But it's that... I do remember that it was a theme song that was... or that it was used as the basis for the Tex Avery Show theme song. The Wacky World of Tex Avery. I don't know if anyone here remembers that shit. But if you do, remember to take your fiber supplement today. Dang it! Welcome to the very whack. Welcome to the whack. Welcome to the wacky world of Tex Avery. Welcome to the very whack. Welcome to the whack. Welcome to the wacky world. The reason I know that is because it came on right before Pokemon. It was the show that came on before Pokemon. So, like, either watched it or, you know, I was watching it because Pokemon was coming on next. No! It's fine. It's fine. I'll use 1,000,000 lives. It's fine. It's fine. If you've watched this channel long enough, you know that having a bunch of lives is probably in my best interests. If we can all just be honest with ourselves. For example, what just happened? This is definitely one of my favorite mods, though, because it really doesn't do a lot. Like, yeah, it adds Luigi, who does, technically speaking, play slightly different than Mario, but it's not like we're talking about, you know... It's not like we're talking about inserting Mega Man, you know? Like, we're talking about Mario, but with better jump. Like... His addition changes some of the parts of the game, but doesn't change the fundamentals of the game. You know what I mean? Which is, I think, a different... But that's what I like. Like, I either like mods that feel like they're providing something that maybe, honestly, should have been there from the beginning. Or I like them to completely change what's going on. You know, randomizers, things like that. I don't like halfway mods, if that makes sense. Like, if you're... I don't know. I don't want to feel judgy. Basically, I don't really like text change mods, by and large, unless there's a real reason to. Like, obviously, a translation I'm fine with. Hello. How many times have I explained that I've played every Fire Emblem game? If translations weren't a thing, that's not happening. I'm talking more along the lines of, like, how to explain this? So, something like, for instance, there is a mod out there of the original Final Fantasy for NES, which is Mario Fantasy. Mario Fantasy Adventure, I believe they actually titled it. And it's Final Fantasy 1, Boss Fight! Got him. It was fast because I hit him with fireballs first. Yeah, none of the bosses are too particularly difficult, to be honest with you. Well, Wario can mess with you, but by and large. Mario Fantasy Adventure. You make your party, except it's Mario, Luigi, White Peach, Black Peach, Toad, and Red Toad. Mario Zone. I don't know why there's a giant animatronic Mario statue in this place, but, you know, we're not gonna get into Mario's hubris. And yeah, Mario is a fighter, Luigi's a thief, Toad is a monk, Red Toad is a red mage, Black Peach is a black mage, White Peach is a white mage. And they, you know, they changed it so that it's like, Mario, you need to save Mario, there's some text there, none of the stats or anything can change, and oh, Cure is changed to Mush. Now, partially I will say part of the problem is I don't believe they finished the mod. They may have, but I know when it was floating around at first you're running into Goombas and Koopas and such. And then eventually you're just like running into Mad Ponies and such again, because they didn't finish doing it. But even if they did, like, my issue there is, it's cool, it's fun, it's unique, it's kind of funny. It doesn't change the gameplay experience in a truly notable way. And granted, not everything has to. This is why I was saying this is a me thing. This is what I do and don't like out of my mods. I like this because, sure, if we're gonna get absolutely technical, it's kind of in a similar / the same boat. But the reality of it is that it feels different. And I'm gonna argue, even if Luigi wasn't involved, just adding color to this game does so much for it. Because it's already a really good-looking game. Dang it. Alright. Fire Flower it is. Yeah, it's already a really good-looking game. Especially for the Game Boy. This is genuinely one of the best-looking games on the Game Boy. Like, they put their foot into this one. But, so it feels good without feeling, and it feels like it's just enough effort to be worth doing. But I also, here's what I'm saying. The weird thing is, I also like, I like changes, but only but so much. Josh, what the fuck are you talking about? So, like, randomizing, cool. I don't want a mod that's, like, gonna... I wouldn't want it to add a character who is just going to obliterate every facet of the game in a way that is just, like, boring. I don't know. I'm not big on that. I like some semblance of challenge. That's me. I'm gonna switch over to the thing, so I probably could have been a bit more cavalier. Okay, and got it. No! No. I absolutely touched that other one. I don't know how my hitbox didn't register it, but I'll take it. I want to try and get the 999 coins and see what you get out of it. I don't think 999 coins was in the original game. I think it was just up to 200. No! If this turns me back to regular Luigi, I'm gonna be pissed. Damn it! This was the time I should have gone for lives and didn't. Is what it is. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. This game is just, it reminds me of my childhood, y'all. So seeing it in color is so cool. Like, oh, there is a Game Boy game I forgot to mention, and I will definitely either be playing it on here or streaming it at some point, likely this year, for a couple days. Yeah, it'll take me like probably a a stream, maybe 2 to beat the whole thing. It's not super difficult, but it is one of my all-time favorite games. And it's a Game Boy game, which is the Game Boy Donkey Kong game. Like, specifically Donkey Kong as in, like, playing as Mario, saving, Pauline from Donkey Kong. The one that was, like, Super Game Boy enhanced. That game is one of my all-time favorites. I put many an hour into it, and it looks so good. And I will this looks better than that does, even with the Super Game Boy enhancements. But I will absolutely be playing that either on here or on stream because, man, I don't know. Listen. Old games can be simple, but they're also generally, like, people love them for a reason. The ones that stand the test of time. Some of it is nostalgia. I'm gonna be real about this. A lot of people talk about old games as if they are perfect and infallible. Like retro games. Like, games aren't as good as they used to be. And there are certain things about gaming that have certainly gotten objectively worse. Monetization. Like, that's gotten worse. The fact, this idea that it's like, oh, shoot. I don't want to go all the way left, because that's just a mushroom. We'll do path 3. Dang it. I honestly probably would have preferred the bunny ears, but it's fine. Monetization's gotten worse. There does seem to be less of a willingness, in general, to experiment. Like, we're going tried and true, we're going with formulas that work, at least from bigger companies. And, like, sure, indies do exist, but it used to be that bigger companies would take more swings. I think one of my favorite examples is Square. And I think Square still does some great work. Don't misunderstand me. They got some issues, but they do still put out good, fun games. But, like... Oh, I did get the bunny ears either way. A good example is, like, Square in, say, the PS1 era. They came out with Einhander. They came out with Ehrgeiz. Okay? Einhander's a freaking side-scrolling shooter, like shoot 'em up along the lines of, like, a Gradius or a freaking... or Raiden or something. Like, you play as a... Are you kidding? No! You play as a ship with cannons and such, and guns and shoot things. Like, what? From Square? RPG Square? Okay. Dang it. I'm just gonna skip forward. Thought so. Ehrgeiz is a fighting game. Like, Square was not afraid to experiment with really ridiculously random shit. Hey... See, oh no. I don't have the fireball. If I did, I could freaking get through there. Square wasn't afraid to experiment with crazy stuff. And knew that the experimentation would help overall as they started messing around with new things. And it was worth it. It was great. Now, are they all winners? No, obviously. No video game company is going to have all winners. Several of these don't get remembered because, they're not exactly the best things ever made. But they try. Like, you could never accuse them of being lazy, is the thing. Going for cash grabs, going for lowest common denominator. Oh, there are game companies today where it's like, I don't know, it feels like they're basically like, well, if this isn't going to be you know, a 2 million seller, there's no point in doing it. And I get that from a business level. I want to be clear. I'm not like some fool who doesn't understand the idea of how video games work as a business. Who believes, like, it should just be about the art. Like, it should be about the art, sure. It also needs to be about a paycheck. I get it. But there's a difference. And I think people get what I'm talking about here. I don't know. So just, what is, I don't know. What is an example to you of that? Feel free to shout it down below. I feel like people get what I'm saying here. I gotta adjust my controller settings between streams, because right now I have it set to where, like, it's a more awkward button placement than it needs to be. I think it might be closer to the actual Game Boy settings than what I'm using, but what I'm using is closer to the actual Game Boy settings. But, like, I would rather go with what feels comfortable. Here's a fun fact. These blocks are not Legos. I'm trying to remember the name of them. They're not Nintendo blocks, but it's basically Nintendo themselves while they were still a toy company. Before they got into video games, one of the toys they made was these blocks they were, you know, Lego-esque. And so this is a nice nod to their own history. Not a lot of people know that. Come on, Sawblade. Come on, Sawblade. Come on, Sawblade. Come on, Sawblade. Bam. We'll absolutely be able to get the 999 coins one. I'm really curious as to what that does. It's gonna be either awesome or worthless. No in between. The 3 little pigs! That's right! I forgot that was this boss. Pig down. Oh, that's right. Don't crush me. What? Oh, I landed on him. That's bullcrap. All right. Well, that was my first death of the run, so that's pretty good in my opinion. Mush. I'm just gonna go like this. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. And when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. If you've never heard that remix, I would love to say I came up with it, but I didn't. Okay, that is just pure God-given talent on the internet. Yoink. See, here's where better traction and landing control would have been phenomenally handy. And the jumping doesn't really do much for me. Because it's changing where I'm expecting to land versus where I'm actually landing. Okay. 3 pigs down. Bing! Good times. Got another coin. We're gonna go ahead and cut this off here. When we come back, we'll do another couple worlds. We will continue on Super Mario Land 2. 6 golden coins, DX. I'm assuming it stands for Director's Cut, but it could stand for DX. I don't know. Shout out down below. Let me know, what is your favorite example of games being better in older days and things like that. And thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Until next time. I'll catch you later, fam. All right.